New breaking news tonight. Nolan Wells' official autopsy is complete, according to officials familiar with the death investigation. The results of that autopsy, conducted by the state medical examiner's office, have not yet been made public. They will now be presented to a grand jury. And now a man is arrested for making threats toward a public official in this case. Court documents show Joseph DeMarce of California is arrested for making a social media threat toward Chancery Court Judge Ashley Cole. She is the mother of one of Wells' friends. Now, the Attorney General and others said earlier this week they are cracking down on people making threats during the investigation.